Hi everyone, it's Alexis Summerfield, and I'm going to do a reading with Jim Hamilton. It's nice to be able to do one with a man and to see how he experiences the information and how accurate he feels it is. So, this is Jim. Welcome.
Nice to be here. Nice
Great.
to be here.
Wonderful. So, Jim is a king of clubs, four of hearts. So, his natal card is a king of clubs. And the king of clubs is the master of knowledge. They live their life by their own doctrine. They do well in their field, and it is their mind that has a well of inexhaustible energy. They live by their own truth and no one else's. So, how does that fit?
That's exactly right. When you make that remark, it reminds me when I was a little kid. As I grew up, I would try all 100 buttons. I would try all the variations on learning something or doing something, and of course, go and go and go until I got it exactly what I wanted as far as the outcome or learning how to do something my way. Big time.
Absolutely.
Big time. Always my way.
That's right.
Always my way.
That's a king of clubs. Absolutely. And your natal card is a four of hearts. So the club is the card of intellect, psychic abilities, intuition, and the heart, of course, is love and compassion. So Jim has a four of hearts personality card, high ideals around intimate love, around family and or community. As a male, four of hearts are healers and protectors. They're wonderful teachers and organizers. They have a strong psychic side and are destined to become leaders in their chosen field. So what do you think about that?
I've always been driven by my own sense of what's what. And as we've discovered, my big, what would you say, one of my big drives is people, is community, is communication, and I will start conversations with anybody and draw anybody into a conversation.
Yes.
And usually find out what their comfort level is, and that's where we'll stop. But there's no end to communication and interfacing with people, the idea of community, very much so.
And continuing to build community.
Yeah, yep, yep,
Very good.
yep.
So in this reading, we're going to look at Jim's karma cards. So most of us have a positive and a negative karma. Negative karma is not bad. It just happens to be how you express yourself in the world. Very often it's what we do for a living.
Hmm.
Your negative karma is a king of eight of spades. Eight of spades is power in work. Eight of spades has the heaviest burden and obligation to use their power for good. They're here to work and make a contribution. A lot is expected of an eight of spades. Their power is experienced through action and the force of their indomitable will. It is also a spiritual power, and spiritual subjects interest them.
Yep. So for me, ultimate personal performance is a component, and ultimate personal performance means combining or matching up with whatever's the best. And I decided a very long time ago that innate intelligence is the highest rung for partnership. So I partner with innate intelligence, and at the same and that's my safety, because I can't go wrong if I'm partnered with something bigger than myself. Like, in other words, partnering with God. That's the name of the game. At the same time, there's a part of me that's always been afraid of my power and afraid of not being able to, when I say use it properly, not able to deliver like I know I can.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, then there's always the fear of maybe having a massive amount of money and money dissuading me from doing what I'm really here to do.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about power for an eight and a king. A lot about power. And to use it well, it's so easy to abuse power. And so the eight has this drive to To have power, to use the force of it, and to always use it for good.
Yep. Yep.
Cool. So Jim, your positive karma is a Two of Clubs. Two of Clubs is the conversation card. And clubs, again, are spades, are spirit, business, and health. Clubs are intellect, intuition, knowledge, wisdom. So your two is sociable, and very much, twos of clubs very much enjoy good, stimulating conversations. There are also times when they become reclusive. They can be exceptional in business, they do well in partnerships, and they carry a great deal of protection and have much to be grateful for in their lives. So do you like conversation, stimulating conversation?
What occurs to me is when I wrote my first book, Visionaries Thrive in All Times, I wrote to a global audience. I wasn't just writing, I was writing to what I perceived as an audience. So when the Celestine Prophecy came out in 1994, whatever year it was, that book unleashed an audience all over the planet, and that's who I wrote to. So I communicate with, on a global scale, through writing, and of course I explore at the same time, but interacting with people. I've always said Visionaries Thrive in All Times is a 1-inch thick business card. That's how I would introduce myself, through a book, through how many are my thousands of words that book is? 93,000 words. But it's communicating.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you ever been reclusive? Or are you ever reclusive?
Part of, actually internally I'm very reclusive. I mean, there's a part of me that's outgoing, but I'm actually very internally driven. And I remember when I sold boats as the yacht broker a long time ago, I would always have lunch by myself to kind of regroup. So that's part of staying centered. That's when you call it reclusive. It's staying in my center. And if reclusive is what it takes to do that, then I would do it. And of course, all that writing was reclusive period too. But at the same time, I was communicating with the world.
Beautiful.
Kind of a nice combo.
Well, you're a wonderful example of all of these archetypes. And so in the reading, Jim and I will now continue to discuss, not on the video, but ourselves, his year. So we look at the year, we look at every 52 days, what planet and what archetypes are active. He has a very exciting, very interesting year, a lot of change, a lot of opportunity. So we'll see how it goes. So thank you for joining us, and the readings can be very, very exciting, very interesting. What did you think?
What I've learned is that this system is extraordinarily accurate. I mean, the idea of a king of clubs and these other, I mean, I'm as independent as you get. I've taken on anything and everything, and I win. And it's not about abuse, but I don't, my own power is more important than other people's power. I don't abuse what I have.
You're a king.
But I give people what they have due, but I come first.
That's a king. First. Absolutely.
I come first.
Wonderful. Good to talk to you about it, and we're going to continue. Lovely to have you with us during this conversation.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.